You're watching the Mad Fictional channel.
The Mad Fictional Imagination Playhouse presents
Home at Long Last by Rhyan Scorpio-Rhys. The car pulls into the driveway. It's called an Uber, and at first I think it's the make and model of the car, but the driver tells me it's the name of a car service, and although he's patient and friendly in his explanation, I can feel my face flush red hot in embarrassment. There are so many things I don't know that I don't know. The entire world has a steep learning curve for me. I wouldn't have recognized the house, couldn't have picked it out among the others, because I haven't seen it in over 16 years. And the memories are fuzzy, because those years haven't been kind. I've been told that it's the house I grew up in, and I nod with no acceptance or conviction, because when I think about where I grew up, all I can picture is being trapped in a dark and cold basement in a strange location. This house has never once appeared in my mind, not even in my dreams. From the moment the car arrives, people surge out of the front door, but they don't approach the car. Perhaps because they've been advised not to, or perhaps they're as afraid to meet me as I am to meet them. I thank the driver as I close the rear driver's side door and walk toward the crying and smiling crowd, desperately trying to untwist the constrictor knot my stomach has become. I'm sure they don't mean to be, but each and every one of them is too loud, and although they're careful not to touch me, they're too close, and I want to run. I want to run into the basement and lock the door behind me and go down as far as I can manage and find the darkest corner to curl up into. And if that place doesn't exist, I want to dig a hole into the earth and bury myself in it until the world becomes a quiet place again. It's unmistakable, the feeling of warmth and comfort and community that exists in this place, and I hate it almost instantly. I'm not supposed to, as I'm a human being, and we're known to be social animals. But if truth be known, the only peace I've ever experienced has always been in complete isolation. Nothing seems right. The sound of people's voices expressing gratitude and the low volume music in the background blend into some abnormal din that assaults my ears like the opposite of white noise, even though I know that isn't right, because the other end of the spectrum from a combination of all of the different frequencies of sound would be silence, and silence would be a welcome change at this point. Even faces are foreign, and I've known most of these faces for the first 9 years of my life, but the arrangement of their features is wrong. Even my own reflection is out of place and unfamiliar. I want to leave, to pivot on my heels and push past this closeness of flesh, flag down a police officer, and ask them to take back to where I was found a fortnight ago. I miss that basement because it's the only home I know. I want to back away, but there are too many people behind, so I push forward looking for a little elbow room, a safe barrier of personal space where I don't have to feel the nearness of otherness or fight off a wave of nausea when someone's aura scrapes against mine and makes a teeth-clenching noise like God raking his fingernails across the skin of the universe. In the crowd, I spot a face I don't know, and because I don't know this woman and have no expectations of the way she must look, she appears less odd than the rest. I lock onto her eyes and feel a transfer of knowledge between us. She is like me. She understands the words I'm unable to speak, words that will never be uttered by me in my entire life, even if I live for 2 centuries. I want to move to her, to be closer to her, to stand within the sphere of her understanding. But another woman, an aunt, I think, appears from nowhere and pulls me into an unwanted embrace and whispers into my ear with hot breath laced with wine. "You are such a brave girl." Brave, I want to say. What's so brave about being afraid to let myself die? But instead, it comes out as, "Thank you." I'm not even sure that's a proper response. I simply need to say something to break the hold. And by the time I manage it, the other woman, the woman with the understanding gaze, is gone. And I'm aware of the people behind me again, moving in closer, pushing me forward without making contact with me when I come to the realization that their action is purposeful. They're urging me forward from the front door through the foyer and into the living room for a reason. And that reason being my mother and father standing in the center of the empty living room. I step in eagerly, not because I'm particularly glad to see them. I love them. But the real reason I'm eager to get into the room is for the space, so my soul can breathe again. There's this moment of silence, and it's like heaven. And my mother takes on the form of Lucifer Morningstar by attempting to shatter paradise with the calling of my name that turns into a shriek that eventually ends in tears and hitching breath. Before I realize what's happening, she's on me, wrapping her arms around me and lifting me off my feet. I am nearly as tall as she is and outweigh her by 30 pounds easily. But this thin woman lifts me as though I was still the same 9-year-old who went outside to play and missed her curfew by more than a decade and a half. My face is buried in her hair, and unlike this place that used to be and is once again my home, unlike the matured faces of the people I vaguely recognize as family, the smell of my mother's hair, the scent of her coconut shampoo smashes through the floodgates of my mind, and I am buried beneath wave after wave of memories which scare me, and my eyes leak tears because I now realize how much emptier my life has been without this woman. Although the world she inhabits still feels alien to me. I say, "Hi, Mom," and the word mom feels distant, like I understand what the word means, but the direct connection with it has faded, and I don't want to call her mom at the moment. I want to call her by her first name, but I have no idea what my mother's name actually is. She sets me down gently, and her arms loosen and slide from around me, but her fingers never leave me as they trace sweaty contrails across my back, under my armpits up to my neck, where she cups my face in both hands. A move only mastered by a mother. "Hi, baby," she says, and I both resent it because I'm not a baby anymore, and miss it because I would give the remaining years of my life for the chance to be 9 again in the company of this woman, if only for one day. She calls my father over while carrying on a constant stream of nervous and excited chatter in an attempt to catch me up on all the events that occurred since the last time we laid eyes on each other. My father approaches with caution, as if I come with a warning. He has undoubtedly been told what has been done to me while I was in captivity, and probably some of the things I had to do to myself in order to stay alive. He doesn't know everything because I am the only survivor. There's no one else to bear witness, and I will never tell another soul everything that I've been through in order to be here today. And it would break him to hear it. So it becomes one of the many burdens I must bear alone. His haunted eyes are misted with tears that he fights to control, as he offers me that sidewinder smile of his, a name Mom gave him, because he only smiles and talks out of one side of his mouth as if he's a stroke victim. "Hi, kiddo," he says. All the others unknowingly crowd me, and the only person I would not mind that of, my father, does not. He sees it, the invisible property lines that mark my personal space, and respects the boundaries. I want to tell him, forget the signposts, just come hug me, Daddy. But those are words I don't know how to speak, so I say, "Hi, Dad." And I manage to dig up a smile from the recesses of some long forgotten happiness. At least, I hope it looks like a smile. I haven't done it in so long. I fear I might have lost the knack. Mom is still babbling away nonstop when she remembers her basic etiquette. "Oh, are you hungry? You must be famished." And before I can answer, "Get her something to drink," Dad says. "Something cold." And Mom takes off like a shot into the kitchen. My father just stands there looking at me, taking in the measure of me. I can't see the missing years on my mother, but on him, I see every second, minute, hour, day, month, and year. Beneath his thinning hair, deep wrinkles crease his face. He's worried and afraid of me and for me, but he manages a smile. In a voice low enough for my ears only, he says, "It's gonna bother you, what you did, but just know you did the right thing. You ended the man who stole you from us and found your way home again. That's my girl." I'm stunned. Of all the things I expected from this moment, straightforward acceptance was never in the running. I rush my daddy and throw my arms around him and break down and cry. And he squeezes me tight. And all the things that I can't say, and all the things he can't say, they're all there, transmitted on a biological level. And he doesn't move, doesn't speak, doesn't loosen his grip on me until my body stops shaking, until I have no more sobs and no more strength left. He scoops me up into his arms, and for the second time today, I am 9 years old again. I think she's had enough excitement for one day, so thank you all for coming. But now, it's time for us to be alone, Dad says, as he pushes through the crowd and carries me upstairs to my old room. He sets me down gently on my bed that's now too small for me, brushes the hair matted by tears and snot from my face, kisses my forehead, and says, "When you're ready." And I know exactly what he means. He leaves, taking Mom with him, assuring her it's the right thing to do. And as their voices get smaller, I get up from the bed, lock my bedroom door, draw the blinds shut, and crawl until my bed, and ball up fetal, relishing the dark and the quiet. Tomorrow, I'll begin trying to locate the house I was rescued from, because although this house is nice, it's no longer a place for me. I want to go home. You've been listening to Home at Long Last, an audio drama by Rhyan Scorpio-Rhys.
Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed yourself enough to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to click the notification bell to be alerted to our new videos when they drop. Cheerio, bye till next time.